The stuff that I have to put up with before we ever go to air messes up your show for the whole day. No, I can't take it, bro. It would be me. It would be me. Good. Okay. Get it out your system.
No. Okay.
I don't work through it. Get it out your system. And you always wait 2 minutes before it's time to go on air to start your foolishness. Now, the other time you come in here, you got all the sad stories, the shot him up, who been killed, who shot John. And then 2 minutes, a minute before we go to air, then you start your foolishness.
It just hit me, man, like the spirit.
Marvin
Gaye said when the spirit move you, let it go.
What these pastors be saying, y'all gonna stop blaming all y'all foolishness on the Lord. Y'all gonna stop.
I didn't say the Lord. I just said it was a spirit.
Yeah, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, the Spirit.
Got wine, beer, what?
Oh. So you didn't put an S on it. You didn't put an S on it. You didn't say spirits.
Wine, beer, and what? Spirit.
Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. It is Michelle Bryant here at WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real. And let me say good morning to the folks that are online. Always forget to shout y'all out first right away because this is work. Y'all done already got up, got logged on, got the TV on, the computer set up. So good morning to everyone on Facebook and YouTube this morning. Good morning, obviously, to our folks that are tuning in, listening to us on air. What's happening, y'all? Okay, so Jermaine, I really don't want to speak, but I'm gonna go ahead. Nah, I really don't want to. I feel kind of funny about speaking to you. But what up, player? How you doing this morning?
Well, Shell, it's a beautiful day.
Is it?
It's Tuesday.
Yep.
At least that's what they say.
That's what they say.
Meteorologist Mano Candela.
Oh, he's back.
He's back, baby.
We haven't talked to him for a while.
He's been on vacation.
Evidently.
But he's back.
The weather been lousy while you been on.
Hey, it ain't my fault. They wouldn't let me tell it. Can't nobody tell it
I think because your reports were wrong all the time. But okay, what you got?
Shell, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's partly cloudy.
Man, the obvious be killing me though. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's partly cloudy right now.
To look out your window weather forecast.
Yeah, with a chance.
It's little kids in the car saying, I could have did that.
Hey, come on and apply for this job. We need more meteorologists.
It does not pay. Look, but it is little kids on their way to school going. For real?
Yeah.
For real.
Cloudy.
He said it was a sunny day.
Yeah, sunny day. Partly cloudy, though.
Oh.
And it might be a chance of meatballs. You got to keep your eyes open.
Might be a chance of what now?
Meatballs. It might be a little chance, but you got to keep your ears open. All right. But other than that,
young people, this is why when you get into school, because there's some kids already gone back to school. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Well, Shell.
You're done. Hey, Clark. What's happening, Clark? How you doing this morning? You is done. You're done. Are done. Who's this? Oh, go ahead, Clark. It's Terrence Ray. Terrence Ray, you always sorry. First thing in the morning, man. With all his messages. What'd you say, Clark?
So you know how it goes down in the morning. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good.
You good?
Yeah.
Looking out like a gang member over there with your little handkerchief on your head.
Mr. T, hey,
I just saw the most interesting interview with Mr. T.
I saw it too when he talked about
the chains and how he started wearing them, the earrings,
and how people was lying.
Yeah,
how he got
yeah, that was interesting. But I didn't recognize him because he done lost so much weight.
But he still looked good.
Face chiseled. Yeah. I mean, I didn't recognize because when he was talking, I said, man, he kind of looked like Mr. T. But I looked away and looked back, and then I slowed down to watch, and I said,
that is
this Mr. T.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it is interesting to get that backstory.
Yeah.
He should have told that a long time ago.
But it was like he stole the chain.
Yeah. I mean, why we gotta steal? Why we gotta be stealing? Right. All right, y'all. So I'm going to try to get through a number of things today that I did not get to yesterday. And let me just start here. We have a number of young people that are getting ready to go back to school. Some may have already gone back. But I know a lot of kids down south have gone back. I don't know the private choice charter public school schedule fully. I know our kids, I think, don't go back until after Labor Day, but in MPS, but a lot of kids, young people getting ready to go back to school. I want people to consistently remember a couple of things as we are preparing to get them ready. Number one, the effect of positive affirmation, that they start their morning on a positive note. You know, people know where their stuff is. They're able to just grab it and go. The atmosphere in the house is cool. Getting ready to send them out the door. You know, it's breakfast where necessary. Some kids eat at school, although some of those breakfasts at school are questionable. Because I saw kids eat like 2 packs of sunflower seeds and some juice. I was like, what is this? This is breakfast, Michelle. Okay. But because the thing that these young people need to understand is that I don't care what the statistics say. You are capable of pretty much anything you set your mind to accomplish, as long as a lot of things are in play for you. Okay. So there is this thing that the GRIO has started. The GRIO is an online publication, GRIO. They have a section called It Takes a Village. And this is where you go to learn about different GoFundMe fundraisers for people in the Black community, issues that are going on, you know, groups that need to be supported. So if you got a few extra dollars, you're feeling generous, philanthropic, and you want to help some communities of Black folks, you can go to the GRIO and go to It Takes a Village and look up and see what's going on. So there's this young girl, and I think I talked about her before, but I just want to mention her again as we are getting young people ready for school. This young girl, African-American student, her name is Alina McQuarter, MC and then quarter, Quarter. This young girl at 15 has been accepted into medical school. She is the youngest American in history to ever be accepted into medical school. She is Black. This young girl, at 15 years old, she already has received her master's degree in biology from Arizona State University, where she received the school's highest honor, the Dean's Medal. At 13, she made headlines when she became the youngest student to be accepted into medical school. And before that, the youngest intern with NASA at the age of 12. She is Black. So at 12, you're an intern for NASA. Space. 13, you're admitted into medical school. 13, you also have your master's degree. 15, you know, you doing your thing now. So she comes from a single parent home, and she is in class with people, you know, nearly twice her age. But this girl is not only holding her own, she's showing out. Okay. Her doctorate program is, I'm looking for a real quick way to go. Because she is studying inflammation. Where to go? I can't find it now. What'd you say? Yes. He said the real Doogie Howser. I lost the thing where I had her specific area of study. But bottom line, her mother launched a GoFundMe campaign on her behalf because she said, as a single mother It's stressful and confusing for both students and parents trying to navigate financial aspects of higher ed. She's there to advocate for her daughter, but because of the rigorous academic requirements of her baby's program, it's difficult to kind of navigate some of this stuff. And so, and as brilliant as this girl is, you would think that she should be getting complete full rides, dorms, everything included. But the other thing I will tell people, even if you get a full academic ride and you get a full ride in terms of your housing and even your meal plan, if you come from a low income family, you still don't have any money. Now, depending on the type of scholarship she got, if she got need-based scholarships versus merit-based scholarships, it makes a difference, because need-based gives you exactly what you need to go to school. It's based on your family's income. So whatever money you don't, once you, like if you need, in her case, going to medical school, if you need $200,000, once you hit $200,000 in scholarships and stuff, you're done because you met your need. If it's merit-based and your tuition is $200,000, but because of your grades and your academic performance, you get $100,000 here, $200,000 there, $50,000 here, $40,000 here. Once you pay that $200,000, all of the money above that is still yours to keep. So it makes a difference on what type of financial aid packages and what kind of scholarship she's being given. So I'm not necessarily bringing this up to say, hey, y'all, go to the GRIO, It Takes a Village tab, find this young lady, donate to her campaign, her mom's campaign, to help her while she's in school. I'm not necessarily saying that, although it's not a bad thing to do. But I want it to be a reminder for what is possible. As you are looking at the young people around you, running underfoot, going out of school with their book bag, what these kids are capable of, if only put in the right situation with the right people around them to nourish them and motivate them, or nurture them and motivate them to excel and be their very best. But and for all of the, they're single parent, single parents can't do this and single parents can't do that. Single parent household. So even to those mothers who get discouraged about what you think you can do for your children because of your own personal situation, if we get the right mindset, and having the right mindset changes the way we move, changes the way we do things, the way we look at life, what we accept and what we don't accept, what we put our positions we put ourselves in, and what we won't allow to happen around us. It changes the trajectory of your children's life and your life as well. So, number one, make sure these kids have what they need to succeed. Because way too often, we can't talk about a 9% literacy rate for Black children. Her name, somebody said, what's her name? Her name is Alina, Alena McQuarter, McQuarter, Alina McQuarter. And if you go to the GRIO, that's GRIO online website, if you look at the top tabs, all the way on the very far right, it says It Takes a Village. Click that on, scroll down to the bottom. She's a beautiful baby dressed in a Kente cloth dress. You will see her and you can read more about her and understand her story. But when I say that this is crazy, because her mom talks about, she got in-person labs and housing and tutoring services. So all the things to make sure that this young woman is able to succeed, this young girl, because she's 15, that this baby is able to succeed. It is important. But I just need for us to help our kids know who they are and what they're capable of. So I wanted to mention that child. Since I'm in school, let me do this before I go to break. Since I'm going to stay in education for a second. It makes a difference, like I said, what's in the environment, who is there to either encourage, motivate, to help move people along. And we have literally idiots running the United States government. We literally have idiots and racists and crazy people in some areas, not all, running the United States government. What we are seeing happen with RFK being over Health and Human Services and his anti-vaccine, nonsense. Now they're saying that the rate of kindergartners whose parents are exempting out of vaccines, we have reached a record high of young kids coming into these classrooms not vaccinated. And when they say this is about 155,000 students that are entering school this year that will not have what the medical community has said is suggested vaccines or vaccinations before they come into a classroom. So whether we're talking about MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella, the DTaP, diphtheria, tetanus, and acellular pursutis, the polio vaccine, the chickenpox vaccine, all of this has decreased. None of these kids are coming in with what they should have. And we know that last week, I didn't get to talk about it, but Trump directed federal health agencies to move towards giving, remember, mumps, measles, and rubella, you got that shot all together, to separate them. Based on what science? To separate them out, talking about that's too many vaccines going in children's bodies and to spread it out over more medical visits. Well, number one, I got to pay for a medical visit every time I go. So that's number one, you increasing my costs, but there's nothing scientific that says that there is harm with all three of these vaccines being given at one time. Most people listening to my voice, if you are of a certain age, we all got it at the same time. Jermaine is the youngest in the building, me and Clark, but I'm sure we all got the same thing. And so this misguided nonsense about trying to say, vaccines are connected to autism, the data does not bear that out right now. There is no published scientific evidence that there's any benefit in separating out these vaccines. So parents are going to have to do better in terms of researching and paying attention to this information. There are now Republican doctors that serve in Congress that are coming out and saying they won't, and it's amazing to me because they won't just say, Donald Trump, you did wrong, but they will say that this recommendation is misguided, that it's going to harm children. Call a spade, man. You're the doctors, you're the physicians. You know that this is Trump and Kennedy. Nobody else is pushing this except for the people in their ear that's not government officials. Just say it's wrong. Just say you're being given bad advice. I don't know how you take the oath that they say they take, the Hippocratic oath or whatever that oath is when you become a doctor, but then you hear people sit up and give misinformation and you don't come out as forcefully as you can to say, hey, y'all, that's wrong. Don't listen to these people. Donald Trump won't even show nobody his college transcripts. So we don't even know what kind of student he was. But we know how he has lived life recklessly and bankrupting everything he touches. This is probably not the person you want to be taking your medical advice from. The person who only eats McDonald's and French fries. Somebody said when Trump was asked about the science, he said he heard that's how it should be from people. I know. No credible sources whatsoever. Let me go to the phone line before I go to break. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Did you get the letter about picture about the Miss Henrietta Lacks?
What you sent it this morning?
I sent it last week.
Oh no, I haven't received that. You sent it to the radio station?
Yeah.
Nope,
But
it hasn't.
anyway,
I haven't gotten it yet.
we don't need to listen to him. Remember, he told that lady shoot her husband up with bleach.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. So.
Yeah, no need to listen. Hey, Solis, thank you.
Yep.
All right. So look, y'all, I got to take a break. But when I come back, since I said I was going to work in education for a second, got to touch on Aisha Carr and the Milwaukee Public Board. I'm sorry, the Milwaukee School Board, or MPS, who has overpaid her, or not overpaid, continued to pay her after she left office. And now they want their money back. And so the question is, who right, who wrong, what should happen? I'll be right back.
The work we're doing at Veolia is absolutely bringing access to the water for people. To be able to have this job to help keep our rivers clean and our lake clean is the greatest thing I could ask to be doing for my time. It feels good. You're accomplishing something that is truly helping everybody in the community I was born and raised in. Water is our greatest resource. We all need it to survive. Veolia is 100% doing great work.
When we wanted to expand access for folks in need of bikes, we turned to Veolia. The result, the new Veolia EcoPass program that has dramatically increased access to our bike share system for folks all throughout our community, connecting students to schools, people looking for work with employers, the community with parks. Thanks to our partnership with Veolia, Bubbler Bikes is serving more people than ever before. Those are Milwaukee values.
I'm Jim Playstead. I'm the Executive Director of the Historic Third Ward Association and also a resident of the Historic Third Ward. Somebody's got to manage this, right, and care for our waterways and care for the treatment of our waterways. We couldn't do it without MMSD and Veolia. They've just been a great partner as long as I've known them. It's just been an amazing recovery for this body of water. MMSD and Veolia have been a big part of getting that clean and enjoyable for all of us.
We have been in business here for 14 years. I believe the rivers are the cleanest they've ever been. We get lots of people on our rivers in canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddleboards. People are happy to be here, and it's growing every year. We love our partnership with Veolia. They help the kayak company grow. I definitely don't think we would be here without Veolia and MMSD. Clean water is essential.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. So I said since I was in education, I was going to stay there for a minute. Many of you may have seen this story that has been kind of getting some attention regarding former Milwaukee School Board Director Aisha Carr and the Milwaukee Public Schools, and in particular, the Milwaukee Board of School Directors. They are alleging that they overpaid Aisha Carr after she stepped down from her position as a school board director, that they continued to pay her for 3 months. Okay. So they have filed a complaint and they're suing her, saying that they paid her on May 24th of 2024, June 21st of 2024, and July 19th of 2024, the equivalent of what amounts to $5,122.71 for those 3 months. So my first question was, well, damn, how much did the school board make? Like, that's like $1,500. Okay. But anyway, so that's what they're saying, that she owes them. So now they got her in court. Somehow we made a mistake. We want our money back. Pull the mic up, bro. Pull the mic up. Pull the mic up. What you say?
Hey, man. How do you accidentally keep paying somebody for 90 days?
That's a high profile resignation. It was in the news. It wasn't like it was just, an internal situation, a memo. Oh, Susie let Joe know that this employee, is no longer with us. This is a high profile resignation.
Exactly.
Drama resignation. And
exactly.
MPS says, no, we mistakenly kept paying her. So y'all stupid.
Hey.
Y'all stupid, and y'all mismanaging money. Y'all stupid.
Let me tell you what I heard a prominent preacher say. Man, mistake is God's blessing.
Who said that?
Prophet Todd Hall.
Dion Cole.
Prophet Todd Hall.
Look at God. I found a wallet. Look at God.
Finders keeper, loser weeper. All of those. Because how do you accidentally pay somebody 90 days and then say, oh, we realize we've been paying you for 90 days. We want our money back. Hey, your fault. You shouldn't have messed up. It's spent.
So let me just say that's first. And I agree. MPS, if this in fact was a situation, y'all ought to eat that 5,000 because y'all dummies was the one that did it. But when you read further into the story, and this appeared in the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel about 5-6 days ago, when you go further down in the story, Aisha Carr says, see, what we not going to do is play. Yep, there have been some discrepancies. My campaign finance report was off. I didn't report all my income when I was getting food share. I've been a little dicey with some money. But what we not going to do is lie and say I owe y'all for 3 months of back payments, because she said that she got a deposit in her account on July 19th of 2024. And she said she called the school board and said that, it's not, here it is. On August 12th, Carr provided the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel an email chain between her and Milwaukee Board of School Directors. So now the Journal done reached out to Carr. Tell us what you got to say about it. And she said, I got to tell you, let me show you the emails.
She got receipts.
So in this set of emails and these messages, which begin on August 11th, 2024, Aisha Carr acknowledges receiving a direct deposit of $1,491.97. And she questioned, why did I get this? This is in July. A response to Carr dated August 28th, 2024 from the Milwaukee Board of School Directors reads, quote, we researched the deposit you received on 7/19/2024, and it was an error. You will be receiving an invoice from MPS Finance Department requesting the funds back for the overpayment. And they said, note that it's a misspelling. Thanks for reaching out to us on this matter. So first of all, dang it, I wanted to cuss so bad. She flags it for y'all. Y'all didn't figure it out. Y'all didn't discover the overpayment. Aisha Carr calls y'all and says, I got some money showing up in my account. Why is this here? That's in July. Y'all tell her we researched it. Oh my goodness, my bad. We'll send you an invoice so you can pay us back. Carr told the Journal Sentinel no invoice ever came. No invoice was ever sent, despite her making another call to MPS.
So that means that somebody on the MPS side is not doing their job.
Exactly.
In the office.
So she done called him twice,
right,
according to everything that she's producing,
right,
to say what's going on.
So they want to blame her for the mistake that they made.
Hang on. Aisha also said she hand-delivered a check in the amount $1,491.97 to MPS's office, and that she has bank records to show no other payments were made to her. So when they saying that they made 3 payments to her, she basically said, y'all telling the tale, y'all lying. My bank shows no direct deposits to me whatsoever, except this one on July 19th that I alerted y'all to. Y'all didn't call me. Y'all didn't send me a letter. Oh, my bad. We made a mistake. I called y'all. She acknowledged that she got that payment on July 19th. She reported it and she repaid it. She said her bank records don't show any payment from the district for May 24th or June 21st of 2024. And so she was like, so yeah, I'm prepared to dispute it. So I just want to say, when you first hear the story, you immediately go, damn, Aisha, come on, man. Like, why you take that money and you was gone? I mean, even though it was a mistake, like, damn, Aisha, don't do that. But then when you read the whole story, no, ma'am. Yeah. MPS didn't discover nothing. Yeah. The girl had to tell y'all overpaid. I mean, y'all paid me after I left. Yeah, they gotta fight that. So I want to, and this is the thing too. This is the thing too. So somebody at MPS know that they was in communication with Aisha Carr. How does this get to a lawsuit stage?
Somebody ain't telling the truth.
How does this get to a lawsuit stage? Like, y'all look so freaking incompetent. And then we got taxpayer referendums giving y'all money. And this is the thing that Lena Taylor and Lakeisha Myers used to say all the time. Before you ask me for money, I need to understand what you're doing with the money I already gave you. You already received. And MPS and the teachers union, quite frankly, they used to get hot with Lena because Lena was like, no, I know there are needs. I know there's a funding formula flaw. I know that. But I also want to understand what kind of stewards of our money have you been, so that when I'm making the argument that we need more money, I can say with confidence that the money is going where it's supposed to go, that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, that there are no inefficiencies. She could never get nowhere with MPS on that.
So, I'm a question. So, is she the only one? How many other mistakes they made like that out the year?
Exactly.
Think about that. Who else done got away with something besides her?
Exactly. So, but the fact that you're going to sue me after I call you, I tell you there was a mistake, I hand deliver a check to you, and not even that payment is excluded from what y'all saying that was overpaid to this girl.
So that they paid her $5,000.
They saying that they paid her 3 payments of that $1,400, whatever her monthly pay was supposed to be. They made 3 payments, and Aisha produces her bank statements and her email text threads saying, or she produces her email threads, and she got the check where she said, I hand delivered the check to y'all.
Because if they did direct deposit, which I'm sure they did, and, there's record.
Right, and that's what she was saying. That's what she told the Journal Sentinel. You can look at my bank records. There is no reflection of any of those deposits to my account. So then the other question becomes, if Aisha's version of events are true and there are no deposits to her account, who lying and saying they deposited money to her account?
Unless somebody's stealing. Open up a whole nother pipeline.
Who I'm just saying all of this is a bad look. All of this is a raggedy look. Yes, it does. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, Michelle, this is Dion. How are you doing?
I'm good, Dion. How you doing this morning?
I'm well. I was going to comment. Somebody put that money in another account. thinking it was not going to get caught.
Yeah.
To check, you know. And I'm gonna tell you this. You know, as people that deal with that works at banks and credit unions, they can be involved too.
Well,
you know what
I mean, look, this ain't enough money for me to be involved for $1,400, but somebody doing something they ain't supposed to be doing.
Right.
You definitely get no argument on that. Thanks, Dion. I appreciate you.
All right, have a good day.
All right, now, somebody, and I'm like, MPS, y'all just look so raggedy and incompetent. It's unreal, man. If this reporting is accurate, and if Aisha Carr is being truthful and got receipts, how you move forward trying to sue somebody? How do you do that? And the girl say I hand delivered the check. How do you do it? So I don't know, but I know she gave the newspaper the text messages or the whatever the record was that I reached out to them. They didn't call me. They didn't figure it out and send me a letter. Oh, we overpaid you. I called them.
So I have a question.
Oh, yes, sir.
So before it even got to this point, why didn't somebody from the school board reach out to her, have a sit down and try to go through these records?
Because they was too busy trying to embarrass her and shame her.
Yeah.
And
that's all it was. Somebody else, somebody else thought they had another gotcha moment. We can drag her some more. Because, you know, for all of Aisha Carr's shortcomings in terms of finance reports or, you know, whatever went on with the food share stuff, which they found out they illegally obtained that information, whatever went on with Aisha Carr, nobody can dispute that she fought for them kids. Nobody can dispute that she wanted the best for Black children. Nobody can argue that there were things that she saw that was happening at the school board that was out of order, that she would flag and she would be a thorn in their side because she was like, not on my watch. And I'm able to separate the money and the financial part of this from the actual actions and the way she showed up in the school board and the way she showed up to do her job. But somebody at MPS, if any of this reporting is accurate, somebody lied. And somebody was looking for another opportunity. I cannot believe y'all so stupid. And I cannot believe y'all corporation counsel was so stupid that they let y'all go down here and file something for $5,000 if there is any documentation. So MPS better be telling me, no, Michelle, we got proof of the 3 deposits, and here go our proof. I would love to see the order. So now I got to pay attention. Let me go to the phone line. Then I got to take a break. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Yeah, that's what was going on when Mosley was in office. I mean, as the superintendent. All that money came up missing, and then they blamed it all on him. All right. Thank you. Oh, you talking about Mosley. Okay. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm hanging in there. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, my cough has been cold for 2 weeks now, so it's just now starting to warm up. And if I don't got so I'm gonna need for you to warm my cough up a little bit more. You warm it up a little bit there, so come on, I need my coffee hot.
All right, well, hang on. It's coming. Hang on.
I got your cap ready.
All right. We gonna get you McDonald's hot. All right, bro. Talk to you later.
All right.
Yeah, lawsuit money hot. So, you know, again, and I'm just telling you, the MPS school board can have a whole different version of events, and they can say, hey, Michelle, here it is right here. But y'all need to produce it. Because I'm telling you what's in the Journal Sentinel today don't add up to what MPS got to say. Y'all need to produce it. Please hear me. Don't try to pile on and just destroy and bury this child. Because that's what y'all doing. You're being nasty. You ain't need to take nobody to court for no damn $5,000. Let's just say it played out exactly the way MPS said it played out. You didn't have to take her to court for that. Because number one, that's y'all fault. You ought to be embarrassed that this even is going before the public and we find out what y'all did. because you're going to be begging for money again, because we know that that first referendum that we just did was not enough to keep MPS out the hole. So you're going to be begging again. I wouldn't want nobody to know I was this damn incompetent. All right, do I have to take a break? Okay, let me grab the caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, my sister.
How you doing this morning, bruh?
I'm well. I got one comment to make, and that is that MPS has better have a very good legal counsel, because that's the worst defamation of character that a person could get, and that's going to be very expensive for them. And she handled them right, because $5,000 will turn into a whole lot more zeros behind that if she handled it right. If what she's saying is true, because they definitely have gone out of their way to frame this sister's character.
Look, let the church say amen. You done pumped up some ears on that one. Thank you, bro. All right. What did he say? If you handle it right, defamation of character. I'm just saying, like, this is crazy. And given everything that Shalom been through, you know, she said she got receipts. Somebody else said, they sent me a text message, MPS Payroll has a habit of overpaying ex-employees, etc. It's happening all the time. I and other employees who have been out on FMLA continue to receive checks only to have to pay the money back when we return to work full time. So now I need an audit of MPS.
I told you.
I need an audit. I need an audit to understand how many times MPS has overpaid somebody. And if there is any school board director worth their damn salt who have gotten elected, you should be requesting an audit. We need an audit of MPS to understand how many times y'all have overpaid people.
Especially if you're asking for money.
That's where the money is.
Like, where's the money going that we have already?
We need an audit of MPS, at least in this area. Now, it could be broader, but more specifically in relationship to overpayments. How many times has MPS overpaid employees? We need an audit. We need an audit. We need an audit. We need an audit. Now I'm getting ready to audit and go to break. I'll be right back.
The work we're doing at Veolia is absolutely bringing access to the water for people. To be able to have this job to help keep our rivers clean and our lake clean is the greatest thing I could ask to be doing with my time. It feels good. You're accomplishing something that is truly helping everybody in the community I was born and raised in. Water is our greatest resource. We all need it to survive. Veolia is 100% doing great work.
When we wanted to expand access for folks in need of bikes, we turned to Veolia. The result, the new Veolia EcoPass program that has dramatically increased access to our bike share system for folks all throughout our community, connecting students to schools, people looking for work with employers, the community with parks. Thanks to our partnership with Veolia, Bubbler Bikes is serving more people than ever before. Those are Milwaukee values.
I'm Jim Plaisted. I'm the Executive Director of the Historic Third Ward Association and also a resident of the Historic Third Ward. Somebody's got to manage this, right, and care for our waterways and care for the treatment of our waterways. We couldn't do it without MMSD and Veolia. They've just been a great partner as long as I've known them. It's just been an amazing recovery for this body of water. MMSD and Veolia have been a big part of getting that clean and enjoyable for all of us.
We have been in business here for 14 years. I believe the rivers are the cleanest they've ever been. We get lots of people on our rivers in canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddleboards. People are happy to be here, and it's growing every year. We love our partnership with Veolia. They help the kayak company grow. I definitely don't think we would be here without Veolia and MMSD. Clean water is essential.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. Let me take this call. I'm going to mention one more thing in education, then I'm going to pivot. I got to talk about this David Crawley race for a second. And what's his name? Tom Tiffany. So let me pivot. But let me go to the caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, good morning to you.
Yes, what's going on?
I was listening to you. I wasn't going to call until you said something about an audit. Audit is really needed out there at the school board. Like you said, the first deal that we did, not the first deal, but the last deal we did, we got shafted on that. And what I would love to see is that where the return funds are going to. See the return, what you do is you create yourself a ghost payroll through return funds. So I want to know where the return funds are going. Are they showing back up in the school board's bank account, or are they being transferred to another way, diverted somewhere else? The return funds is where the money is at. So just to look at it as though, they send the money back. So I need to know where the return funds are going, because that could be a slush fund for them. That could be a one personal individual could be doing. Depends on how long they've been handling the books over there. We got some greasy thumb bookkeeper, that's good at his craft. And the return funds is where I would love to see. Are they registering back, or are they being diverted somewhere else? Because I've seen this happen in other businesses where you overpay, but then the people send the money back. This way, it's just another way of money laundering, but it's more legit. And if it's not dug into, it just looks like a return payment. You understand? Or the payment never shows return. So that's the deal. It might not never even show up return because it's set up that way. It's set up to be grabbed and snatched before it even get there. So the deal is, I want to know where the return funds are going. Like the lady just called in and said, well, they overpay everybody. I'm sure they do, because where's that return money going to? It's no better way than to capture it this way, because it's been paid out over there, which nobody's really looking besides the person that's sending it. That's just, I've seen that happen on other small businesses, and that just might be what's happening. Anyway, I'll leave with that.
All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the call. So somebody sent me something and said that there was an audit recently done that the governor had requested, an instructional audit and a financial audit. So, okay, I am looking for that. And I tell you what, I just got it. So when I have an opportunity to go through the financial audit, I will look at it and then I will tell y'all what I find out. So that'll be homework for later tonight. I just got it. All right. Thank you. Ooh, honey, asking you shall receive. Somebody said Valise Street admin offices are notoriously inept. They have been audited and results reported out. Sheds more light on their ineptitude. Somebody else, Valise Street has been audited. The results aren't good. As a union leader, I would tell my teachers to call MPS Payroll 3 times to get 3 different answers if members had a question. Answers that matched were accurate. Sadly true. Yeah, that's crazy. But evidently this is, somebody said my paychecks were delayed at MPS Recreation, but I still showed up for the kids on Saturday mornings. So how hard is this, man? Like, Jesus Christ, how hard is this? Okay, so I said I want to mention one other thing in education, then I want to take a pivot. The thing I wanted to mention, this is not here in the U.S., but a story that has gotten a lot of attention about a young Black man whose name is Jason Arday. Okay, Jason Arday was the youngest Black professor in the 800-year history of Cambridge to be hired. All right. And there were people that were not hired. He came in to great hype and fanfare when they brought him in and had like this incredible backstory. And so there is this really racist professor, researcher at Cambridge, who has gone out of his way to try to prove that white people are smarter than Black people, to talk about race and IQ and that we're inept. And this guy gets on, his name is Nathan Kafanis. He gets on Jason Arday's trail. And he starts researching everything that Jason Arday has ever written and checking into his background and his life. And he comes up and says that no, Jason Arday has been plagiarizing papers for years. His backstory, in which Jason Arday claimed to have been mute up until the age 11, illiterate up until age 18, different disadvantages, that he had struggled with autism in his life. He had different things that were going on, but he overcame all of that. He's actually written a book that was just released. The white researcher comes up and says, all of that's a lie. This dude is a scam artist. And so the press, without all of the investigation, begins to assume that what the white researcher said is true, particularly about the way they're talking about it in Britain. And Jason Arday is found dead a few days ago. It looks like by suicide, that the pressure became too much. But he had been dogged the entire time he had had the position because of racist behavior. This is the reality. I talked this morning about the baby girl at 15 who's sitting in the classroom, and it's got to be people looking at her like, how you get here? Somebody said, Michelle, don't forget Dorothy Jean Tillman, incredibly brilliant young sister who is getting her PhD, 18 years old, 17 years old. We know that when we sit in a room, particularly in a room that's not traditionally occupied by people of color, Black folks in particular, that there are folks that was questioned even before Donald Trump goes on his DEI nonsense, that there were people already questioning how we got there. We don't have the phrase got to be twice as good to get half as much. Got to be work twice as hard, just to be considered halfway as smart as some of the dumbest people sitting in this room. We already know those things exist. So I don't know Jason Arday's background. I don't know what was true or what was not true, but understand this. And Barack Obama is the classic example for that. When you show up in these spaces, you better make sure everything is on point, because there are people waiting to tear you apart. And if there is something that's not, I can explain it. There's a reason, a rhyme, a rationale for what that issue is. It's awful that this young man loses his life. But to understand that the reason somebody starts investigating him and going after him in the first place is because they racist and they want to prove that Black people are mentally inferior when everything suggests that we are not. Half of the comforts that you enjoy in your home right now, we invented. Life-saving medical technology, surgeons that have been trained in this country by Black folks who had one hand tied behind their back while they was learning and creating these things. So I just want to say that. Now let me pivot. And I can't find it now to save my life. But some people have been posting on social media because they're asking David Crawley and his team to play this whole governor's race a little bit smarter than what they've been seeing. And if this is accurate, then I'm going to chime in and say the same thing. I found it. Dang, wait, where'd it go? No, come on, man. I just had it. Okay. So what it was, someone posted that David Crawley, that Governor Evers had been asked a question about the Crawley campaign and whether or not, any of Francesca Hong's concerns, issues, platforms would be incorporated into the campaign, and that Evers had some flip response like, no, they better get in line or follow along. And hang on. Because I want to be able to quote the exact word, because I just had it. I'm sorry. I just had, okay. Oh, where'd it go? So, because there had been a ton of things where they had been talked about. We want her to be a part of what's happening. She's a Democrat. She'll be helpful. But where is, I can't find it. Okay, I got to find it. But what people are responding to is what kind of seems like a brash kind of, we won, there's a mandate. So, progressives or whoever y'all consider yourself to be socialists, y'all just need to get in line. And when we understand the percentage by which the race is won, you realize that this was not a mandate. This was not the whole world came together and this is our guy and we pushing him through. That's not what this was. This race was razor close, razor thin. This thing could have went either way. Less than 3,000 votes separates people. Now, on one hand, folks will say a win is a win. Whether you won by 1 point or you won by 1 million points, a win is a win. That's not how this works in terms of politics. Because you understand this thing could easily shift the other way. And you got 300-some thousand people that showed up in the primary to vote for someone who didn't have a boatload of money, didn't have a bunch of, high profile endorsements, and still was at your behind. So what that means is that, and I said this earlier, I got to know how to incorporate and work with those people. I can't be walking around here with my behind on my shoulders. And I'm not talking about Crawley right now. I'm talking about some of the people around Crawley who, believe we got this, because you don't. You don't. And it's easy to irritate voters and people leave you hanging. It's easy for folks to decide, I don't like certain things and not show up. I don't like how my candidate is being treated by the group and not show up. So I'm going to take this call and I'm going to see if I can find this quote. But everything I had seen, wait. Is this it? Okay. So this might be some of it, but I still am looking for the specific thing, because even here, it looks like Tony Evers corrected himself. Tony Evers on Hong voters. This was posted 6 days ago. Quote, they have to play along. I mean, not play along. They have to be a part of it. Is David going to get behind some of the things she talked about? No. Tony Evers, you going to mess this up. You going to mess this up. Holy mackerel. You going to mess it up. Somebody better talk Tony Evers and put a leash on his lips, because you're going to mess it up. You do not want to piss off these people. You do not want to talk slick and arrogant. And he caught it himself right there when he said, quote, they have to play along. I mean, not play along. They have to be a part of it. You going to mess it up, Tony Evers. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. David Crawley better get a handle on who his surrogates are and what's being said out in these streets on his behalf. Because that's a Freudian slip to me. They have to play along. I mean, not play along. They have to be a part of it. You're going to mess it up. I wish this was Sirius XM so I could say something stronger. You're going to mess it up. Do not alienate these voters. Do not act like what they cared about was not important. Do not downplay the significance that they're going to have in getting y'all across the finish line. Please don't do that. Because the things that powered Hong's campaign is the thing that people dream of. that you actually got 6,000 and 7,000 volunteers on the ground knocking doors who truly believe in the message and the candidate, that it didn't take all of the money in the world to get the same amount of votes almost as somebody who potentially can have money poured into a campaign. Didn't need high profile endorsements. Like, whether we want to admit it or not, that woman and her campaign apparatus is lethal. And if you disrespect her and you disrespect the voters that got behind her, you're going to be sitting at the House or back down at the county. I'm telling you right now, get a check on the people that's out here talking on your behalf. That win on Tuesday was by the skin of your teeth. It could have went either way. Don't get cocky. Don't get arrogant. Don't be out here talking BS in these streets. Play these people with respect and mean it. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
It sounds like to me, and I try not to get ahead, is that the Republicans want to dumb down the United States. I don't understand how a person who snorts cocaine off a toilet seat says that vaccines lead to autism. So does Republicans lead to rape? Because that's by force. And then when you look at it, racism has always got to end with somebody eating somebody. So why is it, you want, they say we're white, we're so smart, but you eat people and cook mess. We as black people, we don't eat people. We might eat collard greens and fat back, but I just don't understand the ignorance and the destitution of one person's mind. Then they say, they try to make the racial jokes about, the mother with multiple baby daddies. Okay, but their baby daddies is their daddy and the brother and the stepdaddy. And your mama's laying in the bed watching your daddy create a new daddy. But don't nobody say nothing. And then they talk about Christianity. Y'all must don't want to touch Deuteronomy, and you know I am not a fan of the Bible. So how can y'all be so about Jesus, all about Christ and everything in the Bible? Y'all do the exact opposite. And then now y'all got a Jew telling people how to be a Christian. Can a Jew tell you how to be a Christian?
All right.
I'm just trying to understand this, the buffoonery. It's almost like they took their head off and put it in their drawers and farted and didn't say excuse me. And then they say, we're all about the people. Well, how are you about the people when you eating the people? And then the people you got in your family was raped in by your granddaddy. Because I don't see nothing in the Bible that says anything about that it's okay to sleep with your daddy. Papa. Can anybody enlighten me this morning?
All right. Thank you, caller. I appreciate it.
Good day.
All right. Somebody said I got my grandkids in the car. I should have known. Okay. Look. Is that a caller before I move on? All right. Let's go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Yeah, listen. Now, we was just kicking some real pee, all right? We was kicking some real pee, and my man called, what was that all about? I'm trying to figure it out. We was talking about Tony Evers, talking about the boy at the county, and my man come in talking about cannibalism and booty farting and all this kind of stuff. What did that have to do with what we talking about? And you just sat there so humbly, and then at the end, it's what tripped me out. You said, appreciate you. Appreciate what? We having business over here.
Well, I mean, how many times do I don't have to comment after every caller. It's plenty of times you say stuff. I just say thank you for the call. That's all I say.
I think that was you, because you said you appreciate. Here we is talking about Evers and the brother at the county.
I said I appreciate the call. I appreciate the call. There are plenty of times I don't say anything because I'm trying to move the conversation along.
I get that. My thing is that when you kicking it like that, and we got a topic going, I mean, to just jump in. I mean, but Al, you need to listen so you can dialogue with what the topic is, because you way off somewhere, man. You talking about eating and all this kind of stuff. It's fun sometimes. It really is never fun to me, because I understand the source that it's coming from. But to some people, it's comedy, So I just had to call back, because I said, hold on. I'm sitting there waiting on something good to come so I can document it and look at it later on tonight when I get in. And then my man jumps in, parachutes right in with buffoonery. How about that?
All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the call. All right. So look, I want to take a second and just holler at the NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists. I tell people all the time, I've had many people, talk to me about, like, Michelle, have you ever joined the NABJ? And I always say no, because I'm not a journalist. I'm a talker. I talk about issues of the day. I realize that, and if NABJ has a section, a lane for that, then I can be a part of that. But when you're sitting around people who have degrees in journalism, who, are learned in the profession, this is what they do for a living, I respect that. And I don't like, propping myself up like I'm doing that, because I'm not. I'm talking about the issues. Now, I do write my own column for the newspaper, local newspaper here. So on some level, I guess that makes me, an opinion op-ed writer. But it's like how I feel about honorary degrees. I just don't play with what people have actually did the coursework for, stayed up late at night, paid the money, invested in an undergraduate degree, a master's degree, whatever they have, PhD in terms of their profession. And then I'm going to sit, because you can't pull up beside me and act like you're going to get the same level of respect and title that I have, and you haven't done the work I've done. Like, again, it's no secret. It irks me for people to call themselves doctors who have not done no damn doctor work. And I'm not talking about work out here in the community and, we acknowledging what you did. I'm talking about you actually sat your behind in a classroom. You actually paid money or got scholarships. You actually defended, a thesis or a dissertation. You did the projects. I'm not talking about this. Oh, it's the equivalent of. So I don't play with people's titles. So when the NABJ decides at their annual convention that was down in Atlanta, which had I had time, I would have gone to, because I love the work. I would have gone to it. They gave awards and they gave criticisms, if you will. Stephen A. Smith, ESPN host, who thinks himself also a political commentator, and anybody can be one. He caught the thumbs down award. And they said, because he has a, quote, reoccurring public pattern of disparaging commentary, particularly directed at prominent Black women. And what does Stephen A. Smith do? What he does frequently, he start crying. And, oh, all right, y'all coming for me? I'm going to come for y'all. I've been letting it slide for all these years, but I'm going to get back at you. I'm going to have something to say. Oh, bruh. First of all, man up. You can dish it, but you can't take it. I understand that I open my mouth every day, and if I say something about people or come for people, that puts me in the direct line of fire. Don't start none, won't be none. So that's the first thing I have little tolerance for, is that you have no problem clowning people on a regular basis, Stephen A. Smith. But somebody call you out on your behavior, then I'm coming back. I'm gonna get y'all back. I'm gonna start saying stuff. I'm gonna start talking. Hey, fam, if it's something you feel like you didn't do, then blow it off. But I just think that it's hilarious that somebody who goes as hard as Stephen A. Smith does, much of the time, I believe it's theatrics. It's for a paycheck. It's for likes. It's for clicks. You know, it's to keep your name relevant. But you want to weigh in on everything. He wanted to clown Kamala Harris. He done clown Jasmine Crockett. You know, he clowned Joyanne Reed. He got this thing. And so when somebody holler at you about it, y'all coming after me, I'm gonna get y'all back. I'm gonna come up with stuff to say back about y'all too. Man up, man. In fact, woman up. Do that. Because it's plenty of days we act way stronger. Woman up, dog. And stop crying. If you can dish it, be able to take it. If you can talk crazy about people, know that it's coming back your way. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something?
So you said, suck it up, buttercups, huh?
Or in the words of David Clark, snowflake. I mean, it is hilarious to me. That dude's about, I'm going to start. Now, black man, you want to figure out how you can drag the black press. You can drag black reporters. You can make them seem inefficient, inept, and incompetent. That's what you want to do. That's what I want to take down a whole field of black journalists because I don't like that they don't agree with my public commentary and they call me out on it. Man up, man. I got to take a break. I'll be right back.
The work we're doing at Veolia is absolutely bringing access to the water for people. To be able to have this job to help keep our rivers clean and our lake clean is the greatest thing I could ask to be doing with my time. It feels good. You're accomplishing something that is truly helping everybody in the community I was born and raised in. Water is our greatest resource. We all need it to survive. Veolia is 100% doing great work.
When we wanted to expand access for folks in need of bikes, we turned to Veolia. The result, the new Veolia EcoPass program that has dramatically increased access to our bike share system for folks all throughout our community, connecting students to schools, people looking for work with employers, the community with parks. Thanks to our partnership with Veolia, Bubbler Bikes is serving more people than ever before. Those are Milwaukee values.
I'm Jim Plaisted. I'm the Executive Director of the Historic Third Ward Association and also a resident of the Historic Third Ward. Somebody's got to manage this, right, and care for our waterways and care for the treatment of our waterways. We couldn't do it without MMSD and Veolia. They've just been a great partner as long as I've known them. It's just been an amazing recovery for this body of water. MMSD and Veolia have been a big part of getting that clean and enjoyable for all of us.
We have been in business here for 14 years. I believe the rivers are the cleanest they've ever been. We get lots of people on our rivers in canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddleboards. People are happy to be here, and it's growing every year. We love our partnership with Veolia. They help the kayak company grow. I definitely don't think we would be here without Veolia and MMSD. Clean water is essential.
to talk about the National Association of Black Journalists, who gives Stephen A. Smith a thumbs down, and then Stephen A. Smith starts crying. I'm gonna talk about y'all too. I got something for y'all. I'm gonna unload on y'all. Paraphrasing, but that's the gist of it. He wasn't the only one though that received the thumbs down. Just so folks know and understand, there were other folks that were included in that. The FCC chairman Brendan Carr, DeJuan McCoy. And, one of the things they said about DeJuan McCoy, who is the CEO of Wish TV and Circle City Broadcasting, that many of their members said that there was mistreatment of Black journalists at the television outlets. This is a TV station based out of Indianapolis. What's happening in our industry is getting a lot more attention at the national level, but local Black journalists are also under attack in local markets across the country. It was important to send a message, and we are also watching in those places too. So, Brendan Carr under the FCC, using regulatory authority to pressure news organizations to challenge broadcasters in ways that threaten editorial independence and creates a chilling effect in journalism. The anti-DEI sentiment that is literally codified on executive orders from the administration is something we're absolutely rejecting. So they are paying attention across the board. So Stephen A. Smith wasn't the only one that got called out. But what is funny is if you go on social media, all of the white folks, you go Stephen A. Smith, you hang in there. I don't always agree with you, but you go Stephen A. Smith. And I'm like, yeah, very telling. Because you go over on Fox News and do a whole bunch of pandering, tap dancing, Joel Olsen little activity, for the good viewers of Fox. And that's who went into your defense, is the good viewers of Fox, while Black people were sitting on the sideline like, yeah. I mean, I understand what you make, like $30 million. I get it. I get it. But let me catch this caller real quick. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hello, Michelle. I think you were absolutely spot on about Stephen A. Smith. Everybody needs a Sambo. And that has been Stephen A. Smith. I mean, what won't he do for a check? So there's that. It was a problem, according to people that I know that went to college with him back in the day at Winston-Salem, that he started his foolishness back then when he was like trying to get the basketball coach fired. And this man was like a legend in the CIAA. So yeah, Stephen A. Smith has been a problem a long time.
Okay, fair enough. What else is going on?
Just wanted to let folks know, I know there was some discussion on your show yesterday, I believe it was, and then last week, about people asking about, is Dr. Myers going to get a bus to go to the Milton House event in Janesville where the 5th Jubilee Choir will be performing? The answer is yes. We have that information out. So if you would like to take the bus with us to see the 5th Jubilee Choir, Michelle, I think I sent you and I sent Debo as well, and Doug, the flyers for that event so they can share with folks. If you would like to go to that event, they have a few VIP tickets left. They are going quickly. But we did get a bus to go to Janesville to the Performing Arts Center to be there for the 5th Jubilee Singers concert in Janesville on September 26th. So yes, we are doing that. So you are more than welcome to join us for that event. You can give me a call at 504-814-0664 to reserve your spot for that particular event. So the bus, we got the bus confirmed yesterday. We'll be leaving from the Bayshore Park and Ride at 4 p.m. on the 26th and coming back as well that same evening. So to ride the bus and your ticket, so everything is one cost. For general admission, it's $130 per person. So that takes care of your bus ride as well as your concert ticket. If you want one of the VIP experience tickets, they have closer seating as well as a pre-performance reception. They had a few of those remaining for the concert. Those are $175. That includes those that information. with the reception and your concert ticket and the bus ride as well. So we will make sure that we do that for you all. So that is available, and you can get that information. Also, letting folks know, I've had quite a few people ask about the college tour. Yes, we are booking for the college tour now. I've had at least 5 or 6 families that have already committed to go on the college tour, so that information is available as well. As a reminder, we'll be visiting Miles College, Alabama State University, Spelman, Morehouse this year, as well as all the schools in the AUC, Florida A&M, and we will be ending our tour at the happiest place on earth, which is Walt Disney World. So if you want your child to be a part of that experience, you can book your seat now for the college tour, for the HBCU college tour. And last but certainly not least, we want to invite everyone to come out and support the NAACP AXO program. We're having our annual wine tasting fundraiser on August 26th. I know the commercials are running on the station, so we want folks to come out. Those tickets are $40 per person, and that will be at the Brown Deer Clubhouse, Open Antler Hall on August 26th. So we invite you all to come out and experience some wonderful wines across the world. Now, I have some new stuff this year. If you came last year, I have expanded the South Africa collection. So I just want folks to know we will be experiencing more of the wines that come from South Africa this year. So that will be a great experience. So hopefully you will join us on August 26th for that event as well. So that is what I wanted to announce. If you have any questions about any of these things for the trips, you can give me a call at 504-814-0664, 504-814-0664 for any of the trips. If you are interested in the wine tasting tickets, they are on sale now for August 26th. Those are available on Eventbrite. You can just put in NAACP wine tasting, and that will show up in your feed. You can get those tickets as well. And if you do not drink, we still encourage you to make a donation to the NAACP AXO competition. It takes a lot to move these children across the country and to prepare them with their performances and things that we need for them. So even if you are alcohol intolerant, please make a donation to the NAACP and make sure you denote AXO for that. And you can drop those off at the NAACP office or give myself or Michelle a call.
All right.
She's the vice chair of the committee, so you can help her with that.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Myers. Appreciate the call. And look, Rivera Roman, I see you on Facebook. He said, these have been your morning announcements. Please govern yourselves accordingly. These have been your morning announcements. Please govern yourselves accordingly. Oh my God, let me take a break, man. Y'all so silly. I can't stand out with this. Y'all so silly. I'll talk to y'all in a minute. Give me a sec. Let's take a break.
The work we're doing at Veolia is absolutely bringing access to the water for people. To be able to have this job to help keep our rivers clean and our lake clean is the greatest thing I could ask to be doing with my time. It feels good. You're accomplishing something that is truly helping everybody in the community I was born and raised in. Water is our greatest resource. We all need it to survive. Veolia is 100% doing great work.
When we wanted to expand access for folks in need of bikes, we turned to Veolia. The result, the new Veolia EcoPass program that has dramatically increased access to our bike share system for folks all throughout our community, connecting students to schools, people looking for work with employers, the community with parks. Thanks to our partnership with Veolia, Bubbler Bikes is serving more people than ever before. Those are Milwaukee values.
I'm Jim Plaisted. I'm the Executive Director of the Historic Third Ward Association and also a resident of the Historic Third Ward. Somebody's got to manage this, right, and care for our waterways and care for the treatment of our waterways. We couldn't do it without MMSD and Veolia. They've just been a great partner as long as I've known them. It's just been an amazing recovery for this body of water. MMSD and Veolia have been a big part of getting that clean and enjoyable for all of us.
We have been in business here for 14 years. I believe the rivers are the cleanest they've ever been. We get lots of people on our rivers in canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddleboards. People are happy to be here, and it's growing every year. We love our partnership with Veolia. They help the kayak company grow. I definitely don't think we would be here without Veolia and MMSD. Clean water is essential.
All right, folks. So I wanted to make sure you are aware of something, and I want to thank Pastor Calhoun over at Grace Fellowship Church for sharing it. Tomorrow, there is going to be free A1C testing by the University of Wisconsin-Madison School of Pharmacy. They're going to be on site tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then again next Tuesday, August 25th, there's a small little stipend or something that you receive, I think like $20 or something, but they are trying to help get a handle on understanding better ways to manage diabetes and helping people understand these numbers. So if this is something you may be interested in, there is a long-term program, a 6-month program, in which they would be involved with the research team, phone calls, pharmacists, community healthcare workers. But if you are someone that is interested in this topic and would like to be able to figure out how to help our community better understand how we manage and deal with diabetes, which we know overtly impacts the African-American community. We are way more represented in this area of medical issues than we should be. Free A1C testing tomorrow, UW-Madison School of Pharmacy over at Grace Fellowship Church. And I will get you the address to Grace Fellowship Church because that is happening from, again, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That address is 3879 North Port Washington Road. So it literally is right off Port Washington and Capitol Drive, 3879 North Port Washington Road. All right. So I just got to ask this question. I don't have a lot of time left, but I just have to ask this question. Before yesterday, or I don't know, last couple of days, how many of you knew that there was a country called Oman? So seriously, how many people, until Donald Trump said, if Oman gets in, and this is a quote, if Oman gets in the way, we'll bomb the S out of them. I'm like, well, who is Oman? What'd he say? What's going on? Why would he be in the way? What country is he from? Did you know Oman?
Not at all.
I'm like, is this
Oman.
El Said's cousin?
Yeah.
Oh, who is Oman?
From the hood?
You know the one
They talking about Omar from the hood?
He run up the street around the block.
I'm just saying. And so then when you begin to do the little background and the research, you're like, wait a minute. This is someone that's actually an ally of the United States. We actually use their soil for staging, and we got like military collateral in their country. That if we got to jump off and go somewhere and knock somebody out the box, we can stage from this country, Oman. And so they also have been instrumental in trying to help us deal with Iran, because they literally sit directly across the border on the other side of the Strait of Hormuz. So when they've been talking about the 60-day ceasefire and getting people to the table, Oman, who has a good relationship with, Tehran and Iran, and they neutral in the dealing with the U.S. They one of the people, they just stay in the middle. We don't want no smoke. We don't need these problems. We just trying to make sure y'all figure it out. If we can be of assistance, we will. Nope, we ain't coming out hard against this country. We not going up against that country. We not shaming this country. We just want to be left the hell alone.
Right.
And, we will help where we can help. That's the way they've been moving. So Donald Trump, who told everybody, we're going to be in and out, one and done. We're going to dust up, these folks and get control and do whatever we want to. We're going to treat them like we handled my boy who we got in prison, Maduro, right now. We're going to handle them like that. Like, no. Y'all going to stop underestimating these smaller countries. No. You don't know the terrain well enough to be one and done, in and out. Nah, you don't understand these people's resolve that they willing to die, blow themselves up for the cause, to make a point, to stop us. Like, you really didn't understand who you was dealing with. And to have people now saying, people being Donald Trump, his administration, that what the troops are saying on board the Abraham Lincoln ship for 200 plus days, that's fake CNN news, okay? That these people are weak and whiny. And I've even heard some other military people characterize what's coming out about the conditions of the soldiers. Even my brother's former military. And he was like, do you know what we went through when I was in? Do you know what and I was like, just because you went through it didn't make it right. Somebody has to be able to speak up to say when stuff is right or wrong. My dad and my uncles all fought in Vietnam. The stuff that they saw and that they went through, it didn't make it right. And because you think you endured it and you came through it okay, that does not mean that that's the way everybody should be handled or treated. So to hear somebody so reckless and irresponsible who talks about blowing up allies, but it's because they brown allies. You ain't gonna blow up Greenland because they wouldn't sell to you. You ain't say you was gonna bomb the S out of Greenland. All the little white-led countries that don't capitulate and get on board and do what you want to, we're not bombing the S out of them. But there is no thought whatsoever to casually, recklessly saying, I will bomb the S out of this country if they get in my way. 5 military deferments for bone spurs. Every way I can use my daddy's money to get me out of serving is what I'm doing. What did Al say? You got a man who was snorting cocaine off a toilet seat leading the Human and Health Services Department. And you got a 5-time draft dodger trying to play big shot with all these people's lives. And when said these folks are being mistreated, you called it fake news. I got to go. But we just got to think about who we put in office. And we got to be honest about what we put in office. And then we got to do something about it. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace. Thank you.